How's Mrs. Burnett?
She's got amnesia.
That's the good news.
Short-term memory loss. She should probably get it back soon.
And that's the bad news.
Do you feel up to seeing Eric and Kelly?
Sure.
Who are Eric and Kelly?
Not the wife.
She only remembers up until we first got married.
Maybe if we try to do some things together as a family, that would help bring things back.
Whoa, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, that'll work.
Man, have you seen the trailers of this wicked comedy coming out called The Family Tree? It's got that hot redhead from Mad Men, Christina Hendricks, in it. She's like in every scene in the trailer. I can hardly wait to see that movie, I said to myself, and then actually watched the movie and said, oh, that was all of her scenes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she's in the scene. She's in the movie twice.
Yeah,
barely.
Yeah, and the thing is, like,
I don't even know who she is. You said she's on Mad Men.
Yeah,
she's the redhead.
She's a super hot
with
chick.
A giant rack that's like appearing all over the internet.
Oh yeah, and for some reason, I was waiting for her to get naked throughout the entire film because all I'm thinking is, why would you have a woman with that huge of a rack and not get her naked in your movie? Especially when it seems like everyone else in the movie is fucking. You know.
There is a lot of fucking in this movie, and you certainly are drawn to her assets, as it were.
I feel like one of the people who got fucked in this movie was me.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you
dirty.
have somebody like Dermot Mulroney as your lead star in your film,
Mulroney.
Mulroney? Is it Mulroney?
Yeah.
Okay, Mulroney sounds more appropriate because he's such a schmuck.
Well, it's weird because he had a long career of playing sort of like a leading man, a handsome guy.
Those days are over.
No, they are over.
Because now, apparently, what he gets stuck with is roles like he has here in The Family Tree, playing the... I shudder to use the word patriarch because he's such a nebbish in this film, but he plays the head of the family, Jack Burnett, who has who's married to
Hope Davis.
Hope Davis, who is a completely... once again, I hesitate to say ungrateful because he's, such a loser. But she doesn't like him. She's cheating on him with their next door neighbor, played by Chi McBride, and amongst apparently other people as well. Her kids, their two kids, don't respect them at all. In fact, the son is like a religious nut who also loves shooting guns, which I guess is most religious nuts.
He's a master marksman, which you have to be, when the day of rapture comes.
Well, all the gun nuts are also Jesus freaks too,
right? And the daughter is a poorly disguised version of Mina Suvari from American Beauty,
right?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's kind of blatantly obvious that's what they're going for.
I know. I was about to. Yeah, you said it perfectly when you mentioned it because you really feel like this is like a poor man's version of American Beauty.
Well, the premise that you start off with here is that this family, they're dysfunctional as fuck. They're barely talking to each other. The Dermot Mulroney is just like, I don't know where I went wrong. I want it to work, but I don't know what to do.
Oh, you can't call her Rachel.
Why not?
Because she's our therapist,
So
for
what?
God's sake.
Here we go. It's fine. You can call me Rachel.
Absolutely not. You deserve respect. You call her doctor.
She's not a doctor.
What?
How do you know that? Googled her.
You're not a doctor?
Well, I have my master's, but not my PhD.
No PhD? Oh, that's just great.
What does it matter?
We're supposed to tell her every intimate detail about our family life.
Yeah, like how fucked up we are.
Kelly,
She comes highly recommended.
I assure you I'm very qualified.
might as well be talking to the plumber.
And one day when his wife is fucking Chi McBride in the bedroom when he's gone,
working out a rape fantasy.
Working out a rape fantasy, she hits her head and ends up with amnesia. Oh, the most convenient Hollywood plot of all. Now, if you were actually to make a dramedy that was serious about she comes out of the amnesia, remembering things right after they got married when she's still really in love with them, which is, where this starts, you could actually tell an interesting story about that, about a family healing and coming together because of that.
And it looks so like that's what they were going to do.
It really does.
I mean, it starts out in a way where you go like, okay, this kind of indie comedy. It's got Hope Davis in it. Of course, it's an indie comedy, and it could have some meaning to it. And maybe it's playing a little broad at first, but now we're getting to something serious. But no.
It would have been...
It's too many characters, and it goes way broad completely.
It would have been every married man's fantasy for this movie to work out that way. Because, honestly, that is the only interesting bit about this film. So when they kept going off to all these other subplots, I did not care. Because it felt like I was watching the pilot of some fucking TV show that I just didn't care to
funny
see.
you say that. This was, in fact, written by a guy who has written nothing but shitty television
What?
shows.
Oh, what is he written? What is he giving us?
Let me actually show you here. Okay, so it was written by a guy named Mark Lisson.
Oh, he did Breaking Bad. Man.
No,
bullshit.
No, he did not. He did. Hold on. There's extensive producer credits. He writes for Mutant X, the Heart-to-Heart TV movie.
Oh, good lord.
Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. Oh, Mantis.
Man.
Remember Mantis? Hunter.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, now that you read off his resume, the family tree is a crowning achievement.
Oh my god. Didn't he do the
career-
cape? He had to have done the cape. Come on, man.
No. He's not that bad. Come on. But you're right. That's the thing, is it feels like just kind of a poorly conceived television show. Like maybe that was how it was originally pitched, and they went, yeah, no, we already have Desperate Housewives, so I don't really know what we need this for.
Well, it's almost like, I mean, it's like trying to be, I don't know, it's trying to be sort of raunchy, like edgy, and yet it goes so slapstick. And it doesn't meld the two together well at all.
Well, yeah, because like I said, it's got hope as an initial idea, and it makes you, not just Hope Davis, but a hope for idea. and that you go, wow, this could actually be something, because now you've got my interest. And I think that's the biggest problem with it, that it's so disappointing that it never does, that it keeps devolving into slapstick, that you can't really feel anything for any of these characters because they keep acting so just not like people would ever act.
No.
You
And
know?
when you see Bow Wow acting,
Oh, my God, don't even start
Yeah, I know.
there.
When you see that dude, you're just like, all right, they're obviously playing this whole setup for laughs. They're even making his they're even making his character a stereotype, where they try to take it out of the box and go, oh, he's a guy who commits crimes, but he's really smart, and his mom calls him all the time on the phone. Well, okay, shut the fuck up. Whatever. I mean, you know what? If somebody would have given this to fucking John Waters, maybe it would have been more interesting. But what you had here was a guy who was really trying to do his damnedest to make an interesting movie, and it just didn't happen.
You know, it's almost like he pulled characters from other movies and TV shows to try to smash them into this.
Oh, certainly. Like I said, that Mina Suvari
Oh
daughter.
yeah, she's there was a show, a popular show on Showtime called Sherman Oaks that had a son who was just like that, a religious nut and a gun nut at the same time.
I remember that. Okay, yeah. And he's one of the worst things about this movie, not necessarily because of his performance, because, well, his character is just written so unbelievably to begin with. I mean, he's kind of like the mentoree. Well, I don't know what you would say that, but his mentor,
mentee is the word.
A mentee is a reverend who's like the gun nut reverend played by Keith Carradine, who I recently was a big fan of from Dexter, but this is just plain silly.
Well,
They didn't do anything with him.
Don't blame Keith Carradine. It's just the role. It's the way it's written.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Nothing written.
Bow Wow, who wants he's trying to make that transition to be like, no, I'm Shad Moss, the actor. It's like, no, I've seen you try to act. Just stick with Bow Wow.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that though, real quick, is the fact that when you see the credits, it has his real name.
Yeah.
And I think it said
says
AKA Bow Wow, and I was like, wow, dude, what kind of an asshole are you that you had to tell him, hey, I know people know me as Bow Wow, but I want you to put my first and last name just in case I make it with this film, but also put AKA Bow Wow and make sure that shit covers up the entire screen. I know it's a lot of work on your part, but I'm like, dude, quit being an ass.
Yeah, he's trying to change over to his name no one knows. Somewhere Dwayne Johnson's like, come here, kid, let me talk to you.
Yeah. Well, even him and his buddy, who I know that I've seen that kid in the Fat Albert movie, who were supposed to be, the two thugs. I'm like, you pull them out of those two guys in Crash, and you just try to make them more comedy relief, but they're basically the same characters.
It felt like at some points it was borrowing from Wes Anderson films like The Royal Tenenbaums,
right,
without having the faintest clue about what made those films actually.
It's like your dad trying to make that movie.
Yeah, exactly. There's another turn in this film that I absolutely hated. The daughter, who was just kind of, like I said, she was just kind of a not that bright, kind of slutty girl, but the movie wants to show you eventually, but inside she just wants to be loved.
Yeah, whatever.
She starts a friendship with the girl who's kind of I wouldn't say she's not a spastic. She's just crippled. I
Yeah,
guess, whatever.
yeah, she's got some
but,
kind of-
but she's not popular because she's got like some kind
Leg
of,
braces or
Yeah,
whatever.
leg braces and stuff. But that girl is in a lesbian relationship with the one of the teachers, played by in the weirdest, like, what in the fuck am I even doing here type of performance ever by Selma Blair.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you talk about another person who was just completely wasted in this film.
Anybody who's ever argued with me when I've said, Selma Blair's not that attractive, see this movie and come back and talk to me.
Yeah, I've never thought she was that attractive, but I've thought she's a good actress.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, on the whole.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
She just think when I see her, she looks like she'd be like real dirty in bed. That's about it. Just like dirty.
Well, you
like
saw-
she'll let you do things like
She always looks
not
to
a
me
lot
like
of
she
other girls
just
let you
really
do.
doesn't want to be
well, you saw
wherever she is.
storytelling, right?
Yeah, but I've done that. That ain't too crazy.
Yeah, Leon hasn't seen that. You
I
might,
have not.
You might
Oh,
think,
you
she's,
still
you might think
haven't.
she's sexy if you
I
see
know.
that.
Really?
Yeah. Do you not pay attention when Corey always likes to reenact that scene? It's like his favorite scene in the movie.
We all try and pretend that never happened. Anyway, yeah, this is, I don't know, it's just such a mess, and I can't even necessarily say it's well intentioned. It does more than anything feel like a premise for a television series that didn't get picked up. So he said, well, fuck it, I've written this much already. I might as well just compress my ideas for the whole season into like one film script. And consequently, you feel like it's just rushing through these characters' lives and nothing ever seems to really connect. The character that you most like, only because she's back to the innocent purity of a young woman looking forward to a life of like love and happiness in the future, played by Hope Davis here. It's just, they go so far off with making that character work or selling it to you at all. I mean, there's a point in the movie, shortly after that, you even wonder if she's even got amnesia anymore.
Right,
yeah.
You know, the film doesn't make it clear.
Can I say Hope Davis is fucking hot in this?
She is.
I'm trying to remember what else she's been in.
She's been in a lot of stuff, and she is one of those women who can be kind of dowdy at times, but also flip it in the next movie and be hot.
I can tell you what, because she acted so bitchy at the beginning of this film, and then when it got to her being innocent, I mean, I was touching myself. I honestly was, and I haven't done that in a while with movies, but I was just like, man, let this fucking be its own movie, and let fucking the Bang Brothers put it out.
She's like,
I mean,
I think she's like 50, or at least just under it.
What?
Yeah.
I know,
Whoa!
I
But
think she's in her 40s.
Well, she was born in 1964, so whatever. She's
Oh,
getting
yeah.
on up there.
Yeah, she's in
anyway.
her mid-40s.
Yeah,
then.
mid to late 40s.
Well,
so.
I'd still bang those 40s.
Well, no,
like they're
I've seen her in lots of
30s
movies,
or-
and she usually plays kind of nerdier type woman,
Yeah.
or like neurotic girls. And here, she is like a seductress at points. You're like, God damn, you're fucking hot.
Tell me about
How come you're not casting roles like this more often?
I know, and I'm sure. Hopefully, this will. Maybe she could be in Desperate Housewives or something if that goes on for another.
I guess
ridiculous season.
she's in the second season of In Treatment, and she's very
Right.
similar to this.
Okay, fair enough.
In her own
Really?
way. She's constantly trying to seduce the therapist, or
Note to self:
Yeah, no shit.
tell friend to TiVo this because I don't have TiVo.
Get naked?
no, she does not.
Oh,
What?
screw that. Forget that.
That's what Photoshop's for, buddy.
But and you know what? I mean, I don't know how much more we want to go into this. I mean, I'll just go ahead and say that. Yeah, as much as I want to be kind to this movie, kind of comes down to some old bullshit for me, because I just felt rental. And then it gets to the end, and they have an ending that they just pulled out of their ass.
Oh, yeah.
And just throw some Photoshop magic on it, where I'm like, guys, are you seriously trying to sell this as the ending of this and make it seem like you had a plan all along? Don't buy it at all. It's just like you just cobbled this together at the last minute. Sorry.
And they did. I'll go ahead and I'll say it's some old bullshit because it felt like watching the first episode of a show. You felt there was nothing resolved. You really didn't get a sense of anything as far as these characters were. They just seem like poor representations of better characters that you've seen before. And I did not give two shits besides rewinding to every time Hope Davis was getting screwed by that black dude from Pushing Daisies. I mean, I didn't care. So yeah, it's some old bullshit.
It's funny. I'm so tempted to I hate to say this, but pull a Corey and give it extra points for all the potential that it has, but it's so totally unrealized potential.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cast members in here that I really like, and I even look at a Hope Davis in this and go, "Wow, it's too bad you didn't have a script to work with because you're clearly giving it your all, regardless." But you're right, and Chi McBride, who I absolutely love. I mean,
yeah.
God, he's such a great character actor, and he
Wasted.
still has not gotten his big break yet in Hollywood, and it's sad. He should. He's wonderful, but. Yeah, there's nothing here really remarkable. There's like I had to go and read some other people's reviews of this before we did it because I only saw it like 2 weeks ago and I already had forgotten almost everything about it. I had to read those other reviews just to be refreshed of all the stuff that happened in the movie because it's just useless and forgettable. Nothing connects to anything else. Nothing feels like it has any import. So yeah, it's a some old bullshit. I'm sad to have to give it that.
Me too.
I was just like you, though. I was just like you. I mean, there's little tidbits of it where it's like, all right, this has potential, and it's fucking wasted.
And then
I'm
Davis
sorry,
never takes her shirt off.
If this is what the internet's for. So don't. I sat through it all to wait for those credits so I can write down that name and put it in the Google search, and you're like. Blah blah. I don't even know what the fuck was her name again. Hope Davis.
Yeah.
Nude. And then
Oil spill fans.
Yeah.
There has to be a picture out there to satisfy co-host Hope Davis nude. Send it to him soon and clap your hands together or he will die.
There's not
This
one.
looks like a job for Mr. Skin.
This is a job for Photoshop. But yeah, I mean the thing is though, if you don't remember the goddamn movie 5 minutes after you saw it, fuck it. It's some bullshit. All right.
That seems like a good general rule.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's your fault because you're drunk or something.
Or asleep. Leon.
Yeah, I was going to say there's the Leon exception.
Yeah.
What about the Cyrus exception when you leave?
Oh, when you leave. Oh, yeah, that too.
That's the Cyrus exception. That's a well-known rule.
You don't have any idea who I am, do you? What about me?
You think Mom blows Dad?
Whoa. Yeah, but...
Dude.
Maybe their marriage will survive.